This is a tips and tricks video for Gold Digger FRVR. I'm just going to throw a bunch of tips and tricks at you so that you can have more fun when you play this game. So the first tip that I want to give you is when you're using tools, you'll get more tools later on as you level up in here. And once you have them, if they are about to break and you don't have repair kits left, you can actually swap away from them. You do not want them to break if you have the drill or anything higher than the drill. So if it's getting close and you don't have repair kits, just swap over to something else and don't use the drill again until you can get a repair kit. This will save you an enormous amount of money considering starting from the drill. It is it's 2,000 for the drill and then 10,000 for the core drill and 100,000 for the laser drill. So that's why it's very important to not let them get blown up and always get repair kits instead. Now, if you are low on repair kits, the best thing you can do is just use your pickaxe and stay near the surface and just dig up whatever you can from the surface instead. Speaking of which, there's a repair kit. Because the surface is the easiest place to mine at, and it uses the least amount of tools in order to do. So we can just go across the top and just go until we see more cracks, or we can just dig down in random places and just dig sideways. So instead of digging down, just dig sideways whenever you need repair kits and get all these things at the surface, because they have the same, if not higher, chance of dropping repair kits when they're near the surface as they are when they're deep underground. So you might as well just do it here and not have to, you can just do it here instead of trying to dig down deep where it uses tons of resources and all the things that are super hard to dig through. Just use a pickaxe and dig at the surface until you get repair kits and repair your items. So here's another really important tip. Later on, these rock walls, instead of having 100 HP, they'll have an insane amount of HP, and if you don't have a good drill for it, something you can do is you can force them to explode. And what I mean by that is we can do something like this over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to move this thing out of the way, and then we're going to try to make an explosion somewhere. So we can go like this, and we can go like this, and we can come across, and then we can knock this down to come across, and then that will allow us to do this, and then we can come over here, and we can knock this over into here. This will cause an explosion, and if you make it bigger, you make it bigger if you want to, but the main thing is doing that will, no matter what, destroy anything in range of that, even if it has an insane amount of HP, as long as it's not an invulnerable thing. So just like that, I was able to knock a hole through the rock. And if you do a big explosion, which you can really, if you take your time, you can set up a really big explosion like that and knock through massive layers of those rock walls. And later on, when the rock walls have like 1,500 HP, it becomes much more applicable, and it can be extremely helpful for saving you time and resources. Another little tip is if you come back and your helmet is weak, it will not let you buy another one. So instead what you can do is say this helmet only has one hit left. I can actually go in here and sell the helmet, get half my money back, and then buy a new one, and now I have a helmet that has full HP for only half of the cost. Another really important tip is when leveling up, consider getting at least the first one of the explosive certificates so you can get TNT. And then you can go down here and you can buy TNT, and it's pretty cheap. You can also buy TNT bundles, and they're pretty cheap too. And what this will let you do is it will let you go down into the mine, and you can go until you hit something that you can't get through. So let's say I was going this way, and say I wanted to get through this over here. Let's go over here, and let's place down right here on the left. There's TNT. We can stick down a TNT and easily blow up a rock wall that is blocking us. Now, this is much more helpful later on when the rock walls have more HP. So it's always good to go down with a full stack of 5 TNTs, and preferably 5 TNTs and 5 of the big TNTs, just so that whenever you come across something that you can't comfortably dig through, you can just blow it up instead of having to actually dig through it. Another really fun thing, if you didn't know about it, was these auto diggers. So you can go in here, and there's this upgrader here, automation certificates. And ideally the pickaxe one will be better, but you can buy them from the store then, and you put one down, and it will dig in whatever direction you want it to dig. And it'll just keep going that way pretty much forever, and it will build ladders. So you can see I can help it out actually. And this will allow me to more easily just make a single ladder that goes from all the way down at the bottom of the place all the way up to the top, and build ladders in new areas. It'll even explode through any of those rocks that get in the way that you normally would have to explode otherwise. These things are super cool for making paths out of the caves and being able to get back up to the surface. And then later on, you can also use gems to buy mine shafts, and then you can make a really big mine shaft to get back down very easily in combination with these things. They're actually super helpful. Another thing that's super helpful is you can go in here, and in here you can get these upgrades in building and engineering, and one of those first two will give you access, I think it's the very first one actually, will give you access to ladder packs. And ladder packs we bought for 400 gold each. You can carry an obscene amount of them, at once. And then with those, what you can do is they'll be over here once you buy them. They'll be right there. And then you can go down to a place where there's big gaps, and you can just place ladders around whenever you want. It's really good for climbing in places where you've dug out a bunch of stuff and you want to get somewhere you wouldn't be able to get normally. You can click this and it'll make it place a ladder anywhere that you go. So then you can just do this to go down instead of having weird gaps where you can't go down. It also helps you for reconnecting ladders that otherwise weren't connected, and then be able to like make your mine shafts much bigger. So right here, like that big gap, I can just fill it in now with this. And super cool. It's a little expensive, but it's not that bad actually, you know, long term. But yeah, so that's something you need to know about. That's super, super, super helpful when going back up and down in the mine shafts and down in the dungeon, or not dungeon, but in digging. Another important tip is when you're down here, if you have if like say your inventory is full, but you have more crystals and you just want more money, you can go into your inventory over here on the left, and then you can actually just drop all of an item. So I could just get rid of these items if I wanted to, and just keep the crystals. If it was that I have crystals and I don't want, like I see more crystals and I want to pick them up, but I have too many of the junk items in my inventory, I can just drop whatever I want in order to keep collecting the gems and get more money. Another tip, once you get later on in the game, is to buy respawn points. You can buy, I think 5 of them was how many I got right there. To go to your inventory, I think, yeah, respawn point. And what this will let you do is you can, once you're digging really far down, once you've gone really, really, really far down, then you don't want to have to go all the way back down to get back to your body, especially if you've gone like sideways a lot and there's not a straight down path like what I'm doing right here. Then what you can do is at some point relatively nearby, like as you go, every 100 to 200 depth, just go ahead and go to your inventory and put down a respawn point and deploy it. So that way when you die, you can respawn closer to your body. So just do that every like 100 to 200 depth. Later on in the game, just buy like 5 and just do it every 200 depth or something. And that will make it so you don't have to go through so much trouble to get back to your items if you die. Here's a tip for how to make bigger explosions. So what you want to do is get underneath of the things that you want, and then you can like plan it out. So what I can do here is I can like say drop one of those down, and then I can go over here and I can drop one of those down. And now I'm in this position where if I want to drop as many as I can into this hole that I've created basically. So what I can do here is try to find a way to get the maximum number of these over there. So I can, for example, come over here and I can blow up these ones over here in order to make it so I can roll that one over next. So we're just going to clean up an area, make access for more of these, and just slowly work it out. So once that explodes, now what I can do is I can come over here and I can knock that out of the way. That'll fall down there. It'll start an explosion. And then I go over here and then I bring these ones down. I didn't mean to lose my hat there, but I should have had another one, but I just kind of messed that up with, you know, letting one fall on my head. But yeah, so you can do that, and I got all those prepped then. I got all of them down there, but you can do that to get way more than just 6, depending on how many you see. Whenever you see a big cluster, you could potentially, like, plan out like that and get explosions of up to, like, 15 or something, maybe even more potentially. So that's how you make giant explosions. Another tip for this game, a really important upgrade, when you're getting levels, strength and agility, you get the 2nd level right there, and it lets you do this, where you can slide down really tall ladders like this, but you gotta watch out, you don't want to overheat. But this lets you get back down really fast if you make these staircases that are really just like one straight line like this. It's super helpful later on. Here's another tip for you. If you can get far enough down, once you get past 1,000 depth, you'll start to find this area around the 1,100 mark that has lava, and it has these gold ores. And once you get to this depth, there's tons of opportunities to blow up these golden ores, and then that will just trigger chain explosions, and they all give an obscene amount of gold coins. So in the late game, this is generally speaking how you're going to want to get gold. You're going to get around 1,100 depth, and you want to go left to right, and you're going to go over here, and you're going to find more of these gold ones. So I can show you over here real fast. You'll notice that they come in very thick quantities, and so you can just go over to them, and then you can just find either kick one, or you can try to make a big explosion. You can do this a lot of different ways. So I could clean up this, and then I could go up here and I could clean up that, and then I could go over here and let all those fall, and then try to get out before they explode. This will trigger a chain explosion. So this makes such a big explosion that then it causes more of them to fall on top of each other down low, like that. And then it just causes these chain explosions that give you stupid amounts of gold. It also clears large amount of space. So if you have ladders like these, then you can just go over and collect items like these repair kits and whatever else you find that's left in the wake of these crazy explosions. That's a pretty cool thing. Fun way to get tons of gold in the late game. Here's a tip if you're willing to watch ads, get gems, or do anything to get gems. So when you make elevator shafts, these cost gems to buy, so it won't be unless you get gems. But if you have elevator shafts, you notice they go down way faster, right? Well, they actually go down really slow. This actually is not very fast. So there's a trick you can do, which is we can go up to the top and, well, we can also go above the surface, but just below the surface, you can go dig out left or right, dig down one, dig out, and dig out. Make it like this so you can jump, and then jump, and then, oh, not like that. Jump, and then immediately walk sideways, and this will let you fall. And there's no fall damage in this game. And when you fall, you actually can gain way more speed than the elevator will. So that is a way that you can fall for like, you can get down like 10 times faster than actually using the elevator shaft. Now this will only work with elevator shaft because if there's ladder, then, you know, obviously you'll grab the ladder and you can't do it. So, but if you have elevator shafts that go all the way down to the bottom of where you want to go, you can do that to get down like 10 times faster. So that's like a super helpful tip later on. And here's a super late game tip. So you can use these auto diggers to break those stones that you normally have to explode. And combining this along with just normal digging, different whatever tools, eventually you get down to the bottom and there's just lava, and that's like the deepest depth. But if you can do this in a straight line the whole way down without having to go left or right, then, and you do it near the shop like this, then what you can do is you can stand right over the hole and you can go to the shop and then you can buy the drop bombs, and then you go to your inventory, go to bombs, and just drop the bombs. And this is a super late game because you'll need drop bombs, which are right there. And this will let you just drop bombs and then go over here and then buy drop bombs and then just keep dropping bombs down into the hole to just keep going deeper, which is really, this is kind of pointless because endgame is just lava at the bottom. But if you just want to see how deep you can go, this will let you go the absolute deepest. I'm going to do this for a while and then I'll be able to hopefully go to like 10,000 depth or something just insane. And that's all the tips I have for you in this video. Hope that helps you out, guys. If you're having fun playing Gold Digger Forever, hopefully this tips and tricks video will make the game more fun to you and you'll have a better time now.